Welcome, nerds, to the TV news. That's a little ambiguous, don't you think? This is a clip that is taken from the larger Week in Nerddom that gets posted up on the main YouTube channel at Generally Nerdy, or youtube.com/Generally Nerdy, however you have to go about it. This section of the news, we're talking about TV shows and episodic shows on streaming networks. I'm still working out a way to say that isn't such a mouthful. Either way, it's going to be TV shows, right? That's how this works. And so let's just get into it, shall we? So let's talk about TV shows, shall we? We have a couple follow-ups here. We also have a whole fair amount of trailers to talk about. One of those trailers, super exciting. Black Mirror, anyone? Yes, okay. So let's start with the follow-ups and corrections. First up, we have Frasier in the follow-up section. Peri Gilpin, who played Roz in the original series, has just signed on for a guest role. She is not going to be recurring necessarily. She'll be in a small handful of episodes, probably one or two, and that's going to be about it, assuming, we get about 8 to 10 episodes in this reboot series. Pretty cool. That's all we got. Let's move on. Next up, we have, this is such a weird one. Okay, so we talked previously about all of the James Bond things are going to be happening, I believe, on Amazon, though I didn't put it in the notes because, say it with me, children, I take amazing notes. That's right. Okay, so either way, it's one of the series that is going to be based on the James Bond property, however loosely, is called 007 Road to a Million. It's a reality show that they do whatever the hell they're going to do in very iconic Bond locales. And apparently for this project, they decided they needed a villain. And who better to play a British villain for a spy-themed outing than Brian Cox. Now that he's no longer on Succession, because his character, spoiler alerted, that's all you're going to get. But yeah, so now that he's no longer on Succession, he apparently needed a thing to do, and they were like, hey, you want to be a Bond villain? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, okay, cool. We have this reality series. And he was like, what? I don't know if that's how it went, but that's how it went in my head. So yeah, Brian Cox joining the cast of a reality show based on James Bond. Strange, but that's what we got, so let's move on. Next is just a real quick follow-up. Beavis and Butthead Season 2. Much like they did with Season 1 of this reboot series, they released the first episode for free on the YouTubes. Go check it out because it's Beavis and Butthead, and it's almost as good as it was back in the day. Not quite, but very, very close. That's what we got for follow-ups. Let's talk about those trailers. First up, the Netflix has been rolling out a whole lot of trailers very recently. So if you are curious about some of the things we don't cover here, because we're only going to cover a very small few, then go check out their YouTube channel. They have a whole bunch of teaser trailers. Not all of them nerdy. Not all of the nerdy ones even are English language, so it's a little bit harder to follow, and just go check it out. I believe the Tadum thing is going on right now, but I could be wrong. I could have just misread the article. Either way, Netflix is dropping a whole boatload of trailers. We're going to talk about a couple. But before we get to that, we have Ultraman Blazer. Blazer? I think it's Blazer. So the most recent Ultraman series set to release in Japan July 8th. I did not find an American release for this series, though it's Ultraman, so it's going to come stateside soon. I just don't know when. So when I find that out, we'll have an update. But until then, go check out the trailer for the new series because it looks friggin' awesome. Okay, next we have Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, June 15th. New episodes will launch every Thursday from there. This trailer, if you didn't see Season 1 yet, is motivation to watch Season 1 so that you will not be lost. The Strange New Worlds and Picard, I think, are the two things that they're doing the best as far as the Star Trek franchise is going these days. I actually am a bit of a fan of Discovery, but I understand why people have issues with it. That being said, go watch this trailer and tell me I'm wrong. Let's move right along to the big one, and that is Witcher Season 3 has finally dropped its first trailer. The series is going to be cut into 2 separate volumes. Netflix will be dropping Volume 1 June 29th, and then Volume 2 will be out a month later on July 27th. kind of because they're still working on the second half, which is interesting, but they're trying to get all of the the Henry Cavill goodwill out there as soon as possible, so people will be like, yeah, we actually like Netflix. And then maybe with some of those other things that they're rolling out trailers for right now, they'll, you know, keep you there long enough to watch other things that you'll forget that they pissed off Henry Cavill so much that he decided to leave the Witcher series. But yeah, who really knows, right? Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's move on. Next one is Fubar. This is another Netflix series that is coming out soon, and it's noteworthy because Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be the lead in this series. I honestly, it seems a little discombobulated. Don't exactly know what the series is going to be based on the trailer alone, but Schwarzenegger doing a TV series is gonna be worth a watch for at least an episode or two, right? The series starts May 25th. Even if for morbid curiosity you're gonna watch it, that's when you can watch it. And then our final trailer is also a big announcement. We have a season 6 for Black Mirror. That is right, Black Mirror is happening for a 6th season. It is going to be sometime in June. We don't know exactly when, but creator Charlie Brooker has said that he's going to be breaking some of the rules that he laid out for the previous seasons as a means of keeping it fresh and stuff. The quote that I read about this from Brooker himself was very vague and not really worth noting explicitly outside of it. Suffice to say that he is going to be, he didn't say explicitly what rules he's breaking of his own. I don't even know if he's ever laid out what those rules are that he laid for himself as far as this series is concerned, but either way, Black Mirror season 6. I hope it's more than 3 episodes, but if you watch the trailer, seems like a lot of those scenes come from the same episodes, so we might only have like 4 episodes in season 6. I hope it's longer than that, but either way, it's more Black Mirror, and who can say no to that? Also, kind of noteworthy here, I didn't think we were going to get a 6th season of Black Mirror because, like, all of Brooker's predictions about the future have come true, are coming true at least. Social credit, we have the Elon Musk is working on the brain thing so you can record, and like just so much of his social commentary is no longer like satire, it's commentary. It's just weird. Yeah, AI is also a big thing with him. Anyway, yeah, I'm stoked, but I'm very intrigued and I'm kind of curious and confused. But let's have that conversation. I don't know. Moving on. Sorry, rambling. All right, so we have one piece of regular-ass news to talk about, and it has to do with a TV show from my childhood. That is Blossom. Mayim Bialik. Sorry if I mispronounce her name. I hear it regularly, still don't know how to pronounce it properly, and I apologize. But she has confirmed that the pilot for the reboot of the Blossom series has been written. At least a majority, if not all of the original cast are willing to return. All of them that are, you know, still around and such are willing to return. The EPs, everything is in line. The only thing is there's no studio to back it. There's no one who's going to air the episode if it ever actually gets made. All of the pieces are in place for it to get made, except for that one major one. So, very interesting, very intriguing, just because this is Mayim Bialik as a kid, like when I was a kid, and just a weird, strange relationship with Blossom. Like, I kind of really dug it, but I also was very confused. Whatever. It'll be interesting to see. Let's move from there into suggestions for TV streaming. Our suggestion this week is one that I probably should have done much sooner, and that is Marvelous Miss Maisel, final season, season 5. If you are not watching this show, you've got some catching up to do, because it is absolutely wonderful and freaking hilarious, and just solid writing, solid acting. You can conduct class on the cinematography in this series, and if you are a cinema nerd in the slightest, you owe it to yourself to watch Miss Maisel. All 5 seasons. We're about halfway through season 5. Yes, please and thank you. Let's move on. Once again, nerds, this has been the TV and streaming news for the week, taken from the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which is posted on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Thank you for joining me here, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.